The Millwall Story, 1988-89. Millwall made history last season by winning the Second Division Championship and after 104 years earning a place among the elite in the first. Now the Den will play host to teams like Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, Spurs and of course near neighbours and now deadly rivals West Ham. Manager John Docherty spends almost £500,000 strengthening his defence. Neil Ruddock signs from Spurs. Ian Dawes, the left back, arrives from Queen's Park Rangers. Millwall enter the First Division stage at Aston Villa. Coming up now, extended highlights of Millwall's First Division debut.
So away we go for two clubs who laboured in the Second Division last season. A real thrill for the new season to come around, and the referee for their opening game, Roger Milford, one of the real characters on the refereeing circuit, his 9th year on the Football League list. Millwall have had to change from their normal all-blue strip to the change strip of yellow and black. It's sure to be a brisk encounter, this. That's the style of the two clubs. And it will be helped, I would feel, by the morning rain, which has really slicked up the pitch. And there's more of a feel of mid-season about this than the first day of the season. Terry Hurlock's header. For players like Hurlock who have battled away in the lower divisions, this is a very proud afternoon. George Lawrence played in the First Division with Southampton. And it's Lawrence who jumps again and prods it on to Teddy Sheringham. And Lawrence with the first shot for Millwall. And not a bad effort either. With some 75 seconds played, and Lawrence looking to make an early mark on the new season. Dawes, Andy Gray, it's an interesting pass for Price. McInally as Thompson slipped and the rookie defender was bailed out by his goalkeeper then. McInally's task was made much easier by a loss of balance by Dave Thompson there. So it was a clear shot on goal, one that Horn hauled in well. Trying to line up Hurlock, but Cowan's read it, as did Dawes with the interception from McInally. Sheringham is a very thoughtful front man, as well as a goal scorer. Lawrence trying to burst between two opponents then unsuccessfully. Salmon. Millwall for their part, looking composed. Briley as the flag stayed down. And an inquest in the Villa defence led by Alan Evans, and not, it must be said, directed at the linesman. It was Hurlock's prod forward, and Briley beat the square back line, but didn't beat Spink. Thompson miscued with the header. Andy Gray is the player hoping to capitalise on that for Villa. Lawrence aiming for Sheringham, but only finding the head of Keown. But Hurlock finds Sheringham, and Hurlock again. Lawrence outside him. Cascarino, Sheringham and O'Callaghan in the middle. Briley. O'Callaghan may have called there. Briley seemed to let it go. And Millwall, just at the time where that attack was losing its purpose and direction, do get a free kick. Corner off McInally, whose tactic of rushing away, believing that that might influence the referee, didn't work that time. It might have worked once earlier in this game, I think. But the corner properly given in Millwall's favour. taken by O'Callaghan. Cascarino! Tony Cascarino has already put his trademark on the First Division with 20 minutes gone. And he will go down in the annals as the scorer of Millwall's first goal in the First Division, with a header from some range. And some 7,000 Millwall fans who have made the journey to the Midlands from South London already have a special memory. So Cascarino, the player who came initially into the Football League with Gillingham from non-league football for a most unusual transfer fee, a set of tracksuits. When Gillingham first saw his potential, he moved on to Millwall. He's back with the Republic of Ireland as well, and that's not going to count from McInally, who was hauling Thompson back. Well, Jack Charlton called him back right at the last into the European Championship squad. He made a couple of appearances too in West Germany in the summer. So life gets better and better for Tony Cascarino. Oh, there's a mistake by a rather nervy Alan Evans. Sheringham finding doors. It's Cascarino again. He's scored again. This is incredible. 2 minutes for Millwall, for Cascarino. Evans was caught out. Ian Dawes saw the opportunity to get forward and cut it back perfectly for Cascarino, who I don't think hit it totally cleanly, but it was well wide of Spink and just inside that far post. And Millwall are telling the First Division that they have arrived. John Docherty, the manager, said it was the perfect fixture for them, really, against the team that they'd beaten twice in the Second Division last season. The perfect opening game. Well, there's still a long way to go in it. But they lead Aston Villa by 2-0, and here comes George Lawrence again. And Tony Cascarino's head must be buzzing. Players always have their thoughts and hopes for a season, their dreams for what might happen when they play in the First Division for the first time. Well, Cascarino has played just over half of First Division football. He scored twice. Lawrence has seen a lot of the ball, but not to any purpose that time. And it's the other number 7 involved, Paul Birch. Andy Gray's onside. Horn's got to come. I would think that would be a penalty. It is. And Villa, through Andy Gray, may be taking the first step back up the ladder. Horn had to come. Gray, I think, was happy to look for the penalty, but he got it. Andy Gray, that is, because it's Stuart Gray now presiding at the penalty and scoring 2-1. It's a rip-roaring start to the First Division season at Villa Park. We've had just half an hour. We've had 3 goals. And some of the home team's morale restored here by the calmness of Stuart Gray. And we'll see now a measure of Millwall's composure. Both their victories, incidentally, over Villa last season were by 2-1, but there's an awful long way to go here. And I think, without putting the mockers on the rest of the afternoon, you do sense that other goals are in the offing. Dawes and Horn between them, getting into a right mess, and it's left McInally with the equaliser. Dear oh dear. Delight for Alan McInally. Desolation for Dawes and Horn. Well, Ian Dawes has only been a Millwall player for a couple of days, and maybe that explains this dreadful episode here from the Millwall viewpoint, but not for Aston Villa, who have made up the ground that they lost to Cascarino. 2-2. We've had a minute of time added on by Roger Milford. Well, First Division football is back in this quarter of the West Midlands in exhilarating style. Not perhaps from the coach's viewpoint. Tony Cascarino pounced twice inside 22 minutes for Millwall, but Aston Villa, certainly under Graham Taylor, would never lay down and die. First of all, Stuart Gray's penalty, and then Alan McInally pouncing on a dreadful defensive error to make it at half-time at Villa Park. Aston Villa 2, Millwall 2. Tremendous stuff. Aston Villa having come a long way along the comeback trail in this game, looking to go even further. Graham Taylor very disappointed that Aston Villa didn't win the Second Division Championship last season, when they were very much favourites in every sense for it. But Millwall came strong at the end, 7 consecutive victories at one point. And Aston Villa just with a score to settle here, and what a dramatic way it would be to settle that score if they can really come back from 2 down to win. But plenty of firepower on offer still from John Docherty's side. Cascarino! Nigel Spink showed his experience then, because he was able to check his natural impetus forward to be in the right place to pluck the header under the bar. We see John Docherty there doing the pointing, and Frank McClintock, a familiar face to Arsenal fans around the world, captain of the double-winning side in 1971, now the assistant to the cigar-smoking John Docherty. Birch. Gage wanting the return pass from Cowans, who obliged. And it needs just a touch, and it's not there. First of all from Thompson, and then beyond him from David Platt. But that was the Gordon Cowans that we knew so well here for so many years at Villa Park, to set it all up by finding Gage, who delivered the cross. Millwall from the Den. And away from the Den here at Villa Park, Millwall giving every sign of lasting the distance a little bit better than Aston Villa. The fist of Spink, and off the line by Price. Really weight of numbers, and then Sheringham heading for goal, and Price the rescuer for Aston Villa. As case of what Roger Milford adds on for stoppage time, it's only a matter of 20 seconds. Nothing to separate in the end the two top clubs in last season's second division, but the greatest satisfaction surely for Millwall, even though they lost the 2-goal lead given to them by Tony Cascarino. Villa replying with Stuart Gray's penalty, and then Alan McInally's equaliser just before half-time. But Millwall's first match in Division 1, it's brought their first point, while Villa will be wondering whether they will still be haunted by last season's inability to win at home. The final score at Villa Park, it's Aston Villa 2, Millwall 2.
Now Derby County visit the Den. Peter Shilton, Mark Wright and company face an uncomfortable afternoon as Millwall play their first ever home game in Division 1.
Lawrence to take the free kick. O'Callaghan against the post, Sheringham! The first goal scored by Millwall in the first division at the Den. It was a scrambled affair. They won't worry about that. Sheringham right on the line.
That's a good win over Derby. It's followed by 2 more against Charlton and Everton. What a great start the Lions get at Selhurst Park.
Sherlock with the free kick. Sheringham's header, and that's a great start for Millwall. Less than a minute gone, Sheringham makes it 1-0. The ball completely over Cascarino's head. Breaks back here to Sheringham, and Cascarino onto the rebound, and that's 2. Cascarino's 3rd goal in his first 3 matches in the first division. Miller for Charlton. Oh, what a dreadful ball given away to Briley. A lot of players forward here for Millwall, but Briley's shot! An amazing goal by Les Briley!
Lawrence, it dropped over him. Sheringham got a foot to it. Lawrence with the cross. Cascarino's up well! Tony Cascarino, his 4th goal and his 4th first division game. Lawrence. Sheringham pulling wide this time. Millwall really warming to life in the first division. Lawrence off the post. Cascarino! He's got another one. Everton really looking out of sorts, as unfamiliar as their all-yellow strip. But they've got a corner here, and maybe a chance to serve sharp in the air. Sheedy to take it. And it's bounced in off the unlucky Alan McCleary.
Millwall are taking the first division by storm. They're 3rd in the table, and the bookies, who quoted upwards of 200 to 1 on Millwall winning the title, they're having to rethink those odds. Now it's a top-of-the-table clash with Norwich, followed by a home match with Queen's Park Rangers, and once again, Tony Cascarino is among the goals.
Dale Gordon and Herlock with a little push in the back, free kick. Horn lining up the wall. Looks as though Ian Crooks, the Norwich player, will take it, and curled in brilliantly! Norwich City take the lead. Ian Crooks. Doors. Little flick on from Sheringham. Here's Cascarino. He's equalised. Cascarino on the mark again. Phelan. Gordon dispossessed. But again, the referee deciding there was an infringement. Good-looking free kick. Rosario! Norwich are back in front. Robert Rosario. Millwall pushing hard here for the equaliser to retain their unbeaten record in this first season in Division 1. Cascarino doing well, and O'Callaghan on the far post. It's 2-2.
Rangers trying to push out. Oh, and Mark Dennis went for a ball that was high off the ground and connected with George Lawrence. Nipped in the end by Herlock. Cascarino! A superb header. It's his 7th goal of the season already. O'Callaghan keeps it low and just drags it wide. Well, on this evidence, Millwall settling very, very quickly to life in the First Division. But Brock, for a very eager-looking Francis, and they're level. Maybe even the scorer was surprised. Brock. Oh, and Herlock played in by Kevin Brock's mistake. Cascarino gets his second. A gift. Allen. And Millwall hunting the ball with such venom again and getting their reward. It's Herlock this time. Fans who can't really believe what they're seeing. 3-1. Back from Morgan. A little chip from Sheringham. Cascarino. No. The flag was up. Francis missed it. Steen, he's gone down, and Queen's Park Rangers, to Millwall's disgust, have a penalty. Francis with great deliberation, marking out his short run, and a terrific save by Horn. Barker in a hurry to take the corner, and Queen's Park Rangers need to rush things now. Francis. This is Allen. It's 3-2 now.
But it's a dream start. Millwall sit proudly at the top of the First Division. Cascarino's goal's a vital part of that success. He's scored 8 so far. The Lions have a 100% record at home. They sweep Gillingham aside in the Littlewoods Cup. 6-1 on aggregate. Teddy Sheringham among the goals this time. The league form, though, wavers a little in the next 3 games. The record of being the only unbeaten team in all 4 divisions ends at Middlesbrough. The home record goes to against Nottingham Forest. First, it's Coventry at Highfield Road.
Smith. Really has got a few tricks in his locker, and a lovely crosser of a ball too. Speedy knocking it down for Gin. Plenty of yellow shirts back for Millwall. Sedgley being hustled unfairly and taking the free kick quickly. It might still put Coventry in. Millwall wrong-footed by that. Up goes Horn and pounces on the ball. He's fouled in the air there as he and Regis jump for it. Good spell that by Coventry. Speediest cross at 5'10". He's lacking a few inches, is Horn, but his judgment was okay. Oh, what a ball that by Bannister. Gin scuttling away on the far side. He's got support from fullback Burrows, but doesn't need it. The cross is in, and Morgan was right down on his knees there to get that behind for the Coventry corner. Pace is quite clearly quickened now. So Klein being watched by Cascarino at that near post. Trying to show himself for this corner. Horn fisting it away. Mickey Gin again, crossing it in. And the header is just wide from Gary Bannister. Gin's cross, Bannister's header, as you can see, 1.5 yards wide.
That's a fine turn by Hodge. Now Chettle. Crosby. A lot of movement in this Forest attack. Webb and Foster joining in from the back. Stretching Millwall here. Crosby again. Chapman's flick. Here's Hodge. And it's dropped in. Hodge the scorer. And Lee Chapman certainly adding a variety to the play of Nottingham Forest. Aiming for Chapman again, and finding him. Well read by Clough. And here's Hodge raiding from midfield, a chance for number 2, he's got it! And that really was a goal for the textbook. Hodge's second, with Sutton, Chapman and Clough the supporting cast. Well, it could be Sheringham, it could be O'Callaghan. Well, they looked for Sheringham and got it wrong. Sheringham again, just humping it in towards George Lawrence. Herlock, great save by Sutton. Sheringham didn't quite get enough contact. Retrieved by Stevens. Lawrence, a little too strong for Hodge. McCleary, Lawrence, Herlock. It's turning into a personal duel between these two. Sheringham! 12 minutes left, and Millwall not giving up their unbeaten record without a fight. Still Millwall driving forward. Ruddock heads on. Good control by Sheringham. Herlock. Teddy Sheringham again. It's there! It's Ruddock, the substitute. Has he rescued a point right at the last? Shettle's head. Nottingham Forest hanging on by a thread. And this after leading 2-0 and looking home and dry. Now they need all their resilience. Sheringham leading them a merry dance. Herlock. Stevens. Webb couldn't get there. Briley is the shot on. Herlock. Spreading it wide, good dummy by Ruddock. Here's O'Callaghan. Foster gets it away, not very far. Dawes got his head to it. O'Callaghan again. A breathless finish, and Forrester hanging on.
Burke, and a lot of red Middlesbrough jerseys forward here. Inside the Millwall half, he finds Slaven. And a great left foot shot by Benny Slaven. Middlesbrough take the lead with only 2 minutes gone. Dawes, testing looking cross, it's got the Middlesbrough defence in trouble here, and the ball breaks in. Sheringham with a great reaction. That's 1-1. Millwall pressing forward as ever. Riley finding Dawes. Cascarino, the little turn, and it comes back to Cascarino. Yes! 2-1 to Millwall. What a comeback. Burke. There's Ripley, and he's beaten McCleary. And a fine shot. 2-2, Stuart Ripley. Another Middlesbrough corner then. Millwall really under pressure here. They just can't get it clear. And there's Burke. Middlesbrough are back in front, 3-2. Middlesbrough going for what they know would be the winning goal, and here's Burke, who really has been Millwall's tormentor here today. McCleary facing him, and was that a trip? Yes! The referee has given the penalty. Gary Parkinson can make the point safe for Middlesbrough, and has done so. It's Middlesbrough 4, Millwall 2.
Tremendous match and a battling performance, but Millwall with nothing to show for it. They're third, 7 points now behind the leaders Norwich. Another defeat follows. It's in the Littlewoods Cup at Aston Villa. 3-1 the result there. Now it's back to the Den. The Lions play Luton at home on bonfire night, and they're much too hot for the visitors to handle.
Marvin Johnson with plenty of time. Too much time. He's hit it against Foster. It's fallen for Sheringham. A real opportunist goal. Cascarino. And Ian Dawes clips it back in dangerously. Johnson blocked. Darren Morgan goes down. Kevin O'Callaghan. It's 2-0 and we're only halfway through the first half. O'Callaghan bearing it this time. Here's Dawes. Ian Dawes. What a signing he's turning out to be. Luton have maintained their professionalism to the last and got a reward of a goal from Danny Wilson with 2 minutes left.
In the CMOD Cup, Millwall beat Barnsley on a penalty shootout. Now they'll play Leeds in the next round. Paul Stevenson signs in a £300,000 deal from Newcastle. He's in the team to play at Liverpool. It's Millwall's first game there for 92 years. The new boy gets a dream goal at Anfield.
Day in the career of young Paul Stevenson, making his Millwall debut against Liverpool at Anfield. McMahon, Whelan, and now Hout. Uncharacteristically sloppy ball from him. There's Briley possession again, and he wins it back once more. Millwall making a confident start here at Anfield with O'Callaghan now. Briley, and Briley gets it back again. Now Sheringham, here's Stevenson! What a moment! Stevenson scores on his debut at Anfield! Millwall are in front! A memorable moment. Sheringham's layoff perfectly into the path of Stevenson, and he's silenced the Cop with that goal. Liverpool pressing then. No offside given against Burrows, and it comes back to Nicol! And that's 1-1. Liverpool have equalised. Steve Nicol. Burrows with the cross, not properly cleared, and Nicol's so accurate. Sheringham and Cascarino, the twin targets, and it comes to Sheringham, and that was so close. Right across the face of the Liverpool goal. Liverpool moving sweetly again. Good ball for Barnes, and he's round the first defender, and Ulrich in the middle. Can he pick him out? No. And Horn gratefully dives on the ball. Great run by John Barnes. Whelan forward. Aldridge beaten this time, but Liverpool win it back. Lovely control from Beardsley, and here's Barnes in space. Again he's got Aldridge to find, and again he couldn't do so. Millwall survived for the moment, but relentless pressure from Liverpool now. Barnes again, back it comes to Beardsley, and Beardsley again. Lovely control, and Beardsley once more. Oh, it was so close. Millwall certainly equaling Liverpool in terms of attacking pressure here. And the score's still 1 each. And Dawes down injured from that challenge. And the Millwall supporters didn't like the tackle, but the referee won't stop play. Dawes still injured. Well, here's the tackle that caused the damage. Peter Beardsley on Ian Dawes. And Dawes has to go off. Let's hope it's not too serious. But Salman will replace him in this game. Another glorious ball swept out to Barnes. And Liverpool's relentless pressure continues here. Forward by Ablett. They've given away. Liverpool have it back. Barnes again. Spackman. Barnes. Lovely control on the chest by John Barnes. Weaving his way through those Millwall defenders. And setting up McMahon for the shot. Good save by Horn. And he got there to pounce on the loose ball from McMahon's effort. So Liverpool attacking their favoured cop end in the second half. But it's still 1-1. Millwall can be pleased with their efforts so far. But Barnes! Good save. Horn made it look easy. Barnes in superb form. Liverpool's free kick then. Barnes, and it goes through to Whelan. And Houghton. Horn was brave when he needed to be, and Millwall survived. Houghton with the miss. Barnes. Beardsley taking over, and that'll be a corner as Liverpool press, looking for the winning goal here. But they're not going to get it. That's the final whistle, and Millwall have got a very creditable 1-1 draw here at Anfield.
Millwall refused to be intimidated, and now it's Newcastle and Stevenson, after that great start at Anfield, against his old club.
Friday with the free kick then. Sheringham's head, and there's McCleary! Alan McCleary gets his first goal of the season to give Millwall the lead. Dawes. Good lay off to Briley. Sheringham, a little awkward controlling it, and Herlock shot. Oh dear! Besant will be embarrassed about that, but Herlock's made it 2-0. Lovely flick on from Sheringham to Cascarino. It's 3-0 to Millwall. Cascarino's header. O'Callaghan here. Newcastle stretched again, and that's 4. Superb performance by Millwall. 4-0. Their biggest win so far this season.
Millwall still third. They've been in the top 3 all season. It's a superb start. They've lost just once in 12 league games. Now we switch from the Den to the Dell as the Lions play Southampton. Coming up, extended highlights of a quite thrilling 2-2 draw.
Sheringham's drawn 2 across with him. And Ray Wallace has miscued. O'Callaghan! And Statham had to knock it behind for the corner after Burridge pushed out the shot. Ray Wallace betraying some inexperience here. And O'Callaghan was on it in a flash to make life awkward for the goalkeeper. Danny Wallace and Rodney Wallace wheeling around to try and make something possible here. And a great run by Graham Baker. Has it crossed the line? It has. It wasn't going to burst the net, but it didn't need to. With 12 minutes gone, Baker with an intelligent burst forward from midfield, and he turned it in to give Southampton the lead. Stevenson looking for Cascarino. Again, the intuitive understanding with Sheringham. Here's O'Callaghan. Great shot, Cascarino! Well, he put it wide, but had hardly any time to react as the ball thudded off John Burridge's crossbar from Kevin O'Callaghan's right foot this time. Maybe that's what took Cascarino by surprise. Kevin Moore couldn't win the header, guided on by Sheringham. The flag has stayed down, it's 1-1, it's Kevin O'Callaghan's goal. And Millwall certainly deserve to be on level terms. 12 minutes before half-time. A delightful ball from Teddy Sheringham to catch Southampton a little square. O'Callaghan did the rest. Stevenson. Moore's jogged across to try and close him down. Maybe Millwall can find a gap in the middle here with the centre half out of position. They'll need a quicker cross though. Sheringham. Briley. Sheringham! Well, it seemed they'd lost their way a little on that far side. Maybe initially Sheringham would have preferred an earlier cross, but when it came, he was the master of it, and Briley set him up for a sweet left footer. Wood. The Millwall travelling support in fine voice. O'Callaghan. Cascarino. Well, they're looking for a third goal here to really cement their advantage. Statham. The case. Danny Wallace. Good play. Brother Rodney's in the centre, so too is Cockerill. And now Letizia, and it looped tantalisingly for both sets of supporters. Millwall were glad to see it go past the post for the corner. It could easily have dropped over Brian Horne. Difficult moments these for Millwall. Case. Herlock got his head to it, and it's very close. But not close enough from the Southampton perspective from Statham. Just a little dinked ball forward by Case. And Statham caught it pretty well. Time here for Osman. We're inside the last 15 minutes. Danny Wallace. Baker! They thought they'd done it, but they hadn't. The linesman saw to that, and Graham Baker certainly looked offside. Foul by O'Callaghan. Southampton in a hurry to take it, and O'Callaghan will have to retreat a little. It's going to be Ray Wallace. Letizia, who can be very dangerous coming on to balls like that, and he'll have the shot. It's another near miss for Southampton. Wouldn't quite roll into the stride of Baker, but it fell for Letizia. Cascarino. Stevenson. Cascarino and Sheringham racing into the centre. It's Sheringham! Oh, brilliant save! The ball seemed to gather pace on the bounce from Sheringham's header, but somehow Burridge got there. Play on. And it's Baker's pass, inviting Letizia to make the run. Baker! Well, he had one ruled out for offside earlier in the half, but he's got his second goal now. It's been a most absorbing and entertaining match. It's taken another twist here, 2-2.
Tony Cascarino gets his 11th goal of the season in a 2-0 CMOD Cup win over Leeds. And now Millwall face London derbies against West Ham and Spurs, plus a visit by Sheffield Wednesday coming up in the next 3 weeks. First, it's great rivals, the Hammers, at the Den.
Ince finds Dickens and he turns away from Herlock's challenge. Couldn't find Rosenia though. Oh, Dawes, a bad back pass, and Dickens is in there, and here's Ince, and he had to score. Dawes with the sloppy back pass made it so easy for West Ham. O'Callaghan turning it in. Ince got it clear. Back in again from Stevens. O'Callaghan there again, and it breaks for Cascarino. Good save. Dawes. Cascarino's little header. It comes back to Cascarino. Just wide. Dickens. Dawes get it clear, and Briley. And O'Callaghan turning it back towards his own goal. That could have been so embarrassing. And he owes Horn a pint for that save.
Paul Allen, Millwall back in numbers. Here's Waddle. He might try one from there. He does! Oh, that's a superb goal by Chris Waddle. Gascoigne. Stewart's in. That will have to be a free kick. Gascoigne and Waddle over the ball, and Gaz has curled one! Took everybody by surprise. Tottenham's Geordie connection strikes again.
Wood. What a dangerous ball in from O'Callaghan. And the header from Siggy Johnson went straight at Horn. Hodgson. Oh, what's he thinking of? A back pass gone straight to Cascarino. Sheringham must score this time. And with 2 minutes to go, they've surely won it.
That win keeps Millwall third. It's the first league win for a month. The CMOD Cup run ends at Goodison Park. Millwall lose 2-0 to Everton. But now the Lions enter a busy Christmas-New Year period. 3 games in 8 days. Derby away, Charlton at home to come. First, a Boxing Day trip to Wimbledon.
The holiday season full of local derbies. This one in South London, and it went Wimbledon's way. Vinnie Jones causing confusion with a long throw. Carlton Fairweather sending Millwall to their 3rd defeat in 4 games.
So the Lions need a victory, and they get one here at the baseball ground against Derby County. It's a very strange goal that gives them the 3 points though. Watch as the ball is played in here for a header from Teddy Sheringham. Peter Shilton lets it creep in under his body. A rare mistake from England's keeper. I suppose it is a time for giving, and the Lions fans very grateful for the gift. 3 away points.
At the Den, Millwall against Charlton, a South London derby which was hard fought, typically, and goalless until 3 minutes from time. Then Millwall's much admired attacking pairing of Teddy Sheringham and Tony Cascarino set up an unlikely match winner. Sheringham crossing, Cascarino heading down, and the substitute David Thompson, a 20-year-old reserve centre-back, forcing in his first goal for Millwall, and very timely too.
2 wins in 3, Millwall all set for the visit of Luton in the FA Cup. It's a thriller. The Lions roar to a 3-2 victory. Cascarino and Sheringham, the old firm, among the goals yet again. Now, a visit to Old Trafford, Millwall's first for 15 years. They'll be without the skipper, Les Briley, though. He's serving a 2-match ban.
Now here's Hughes. Leclerc in space to his left, and here's Clayton Blackmore. 1-0. Clayton Blackmore, the goal scorer. Milne again prepared to run at players. Tony Gill! 2 in a week for Tony Gill. Here's Hughes. Yes! The now almost statutory goal for Mark Hughes. And again the trusty left foot doing the damage.
It means that Millwall are out of the top 3 for the first time, and they're now 10 points behind the leaders, Arsenal. Plans for a new stadium are unveiled. It's due to be built in nearby Deptford at a cost of £4.5 million, a sure sign of Millwall's continuing success. Their achievements are recognised by television, who choose the home match with Norwich as the next live match. Millwall lose it in the dying seconds, but it's a great advertisement for the club.
This time Dale Gordon will take it. Linnigan at the near post. There's Andy Townsend right forward. Linnigan there alongside him. He might try the little flick on, which is always so difficult to defend against. And it very nearly went in, and it has gone in from the number 4, Ian Butterworth. A great start for Norwich City inside the first 2 minutes. A different angle, the flick on, they get it off the line, Ian Dawes, and Butterworth scores his first ever goal for Norwich City. Ian.
Well, you were just saying, Brian, how dangerous the near post ball is, and Robert Fleck just got a touch on it there. It was cleared off the line, but bang, following up. Now, that was a super corner kick.
Dale Gordon on the far side. Another good break. Phelan showing good form. The cross coming in from Culverhouse, and Norwich City, Ian, having so much the better of it. Ian St John, my co-commentator today.
Playing delightful football, aren't they? Very penetrating stuff as well. And the corner kicks have been dangerous, so here's another one going to be launched in. Millwall having difficulty trying to clear them.
Gordon with the kick. That time Sheringham come back to get it away. Townsend's shot was cleared. Oh! Horn in trouble! Fleck playing it back, Rosario! And it's in there by Byrne! And Norwich are 2 ahead.
Well, again from the corner kick, not quite cleared. The shot comes in, and I was saying before the game, funnily enough, to Johnny Docherty and Frank McClintock, that Fleck follows up on everything, and it was his persistence that finally managed to, create that scramble and create the goal for Dawes.
And away goes Callaghan. Kevin O'Callaghan now with Cascarino in a bit of space in the middle. Can he hold off long enough? He scores! And Millwall are back in it with 11 minutes gone.
A good ball from Kevin O'Callaghan. He played it in early. Cascarino did well under pressure, held off the defender, and then the left foot across, Brian gone into the far corner. That was a super strike.
Millwall 1, Norwich City 2. Now can Callaghan get in? Can Sheringham get in? Trying to get Dawes in. Callaghan's header! Magnificent save. Super save by Gunn. A really bright move by Millwall. And O'Callaghan so close to making it 2-2. Sheringham with a little run here. And Dawes with a delightful little cross. There's O'Callaghan's header. And some really acrobatic and valuable goalkeeping by Brian Gunn for Norwich. Sheringham. Oh, my goodness!
Well,
nearest you'll get to a crazy own goal without it actually happening.
Mark Bowen trying to go on his seat at both ends.
Brian Gunn having a word, and there's the explanation between the fullback and the goalkeeper, and maybe just as well we can't pick up the words they're saying. Look at that. How near to a most embarrassing own goal. Ian Dawes. Forward to Teddy Sheringham, and now to O'Callaghan. Three minutes of the first half remaining. Herlock to Morgan. Sheringham to Morgan, a great little run by him, and Cascarino, and it's hit there by Carter! 2-2!
Well, the pressure finally paid off. A lovely little 1-2 and a cross, and he didn't have smack into the roof of the net. Carter. It's a lovely goal.
Sheringham now for Millwall. Salmon gets the cross in towards O'Callaghan. A corner for Millwall. The two big strikers discussing what should happen now. Cascarino and Sheringham. There's Jimmy Carter now. Lines up this corner for Millwall. Cascarino jumping for it. Herlock getting in there as well. Might be anyone's. And Cascarino was flying in there. And somehow that failed to go into the Norwich net.
I think that was another Brian Gunn save.
Well, if it was an astonishing save.
Well, we can have a look at it again here, Brian.
Cascarino getting in there, yeah. Good reactions again from the Norwich goalkeeper. And here's Phelan. Gordon turning it in! Oh, superb! Absolutely superb piece of goalkeeping there by Brian Horn. No wonder he deserves a pat on the back. And the first real flash we've seen from Dale Gordon.
I thought you were going to say from Flash Gordon.
Well, I think they call him that, don't they? But Phelan did well. There's the back heel. And just look at this excellent piece of goalkeeping. Teddy Sheringham now. Well, he's gone past his man, looking for the little flick in. And Norwich snapped the door tight shut after Sheringham had successfully gone past Andy Linnigan. Millwall's corner. 12 minutes of the game left. O'Callaghan with it, the little flick on. Herlock. Oh, saved superbly again by Gunn from Terry Herlock. And Norwich just happy to bang that one away, out of harm's way. Herlock shot, and some great keeping. Still Norwich a little bit on the rack as Dawes now can play it in, but now it was a poor one. And suddenly Norwich could be on the break here with Phelan. And they got Fleck up as well. Millwall scampering to get back. Phelan crossing the ball in. And Salmon was shadowing Fleck well. But there's Fleck again. A terrific goal for Norwich in the last seconds. And this amazing away record by Norwich City looks as though it's going to be unscathed. A terrific strike by Robert Fleck. And a fabulous goal.
A goal to win any game, deserved to win any game. That was a beautiful goal. But Ian Dawes must take the blame for the mistake earlier on. Well, that was an unstoppable shot.
Great entertainment, but another defeat in front of a live TV audience follows. Liverpool win 2-0 at the Den in the FA Cup. Neil Ruddock sold to Southampton for £300,000. He's only played 6 times for the Lions. And Millwall dropped Teddy Sheringham for the visit to Loftus Road after 3 successive defeats. They badly need a win against Rangers, and they get one.
O'Callaghan. Here's Sheringham. Cascarino. And Jimmy Carter. Well, it was a gift when it came. And Carter, who lists Rangers amongst his former clubs, happy to take it. Carter's round the back. Well, Rangers with problems. Cascarino, 2-0. Rangers still plugging away. Here's Faraday. Oh, handball, surely. Falco with a chance to get Rangers back in it, yes. And with 12 minutes left, what can they do now?
Millwall hold on and win by 2-1. And now the Den stages another big match. It's the arrival of Arsenal, the league leaders. Former teammates Frank McClintock and George Graham chat before the game. George, who did so much when he was in charge here at the Den. They're old pals, but today they've got to be deadly rivals.
Sheringham. Dawes was only brought here just before the start of the season from Queen's Park Rangers. And Cascarino gets the better of Adams. Is Sheringham there? It's a goal from Carter, who keeps up an astonishing run. His fourth now in 6 games. A player they said didn't score enough. Well, he's come up with an answer or two. And Tony Adams will be very disappointed about the way this goal was conceded. He lost Cascarino, who picked up a cross that was deflected into the path of Carter. Just took a touch there off Lee Dixon, and that made it perfect for Carter. Millwall lead after 15 minutes. So the First Division leaders, who have such an excellent away record, finding life difficult in the early stages at the Den, thanks to Jimmy Carter, 4th of the season, and 4, as I say, coming inside 6 games. Thomas. Wilson will get a second go at it, but still couldn't steer the ball on. Oh, a mistake by O'Callaghan, and Rocastle, who kept running, to his credit. Well, Kevin O'Callaghan will be experiencing great relief at the moment. It was too easy for him, and no real contact on the ball at all, and Brian Horn with a rescuing save. Herlock and Sheringham for Cascarino! My word, he hit that one well. Millwall using the direct route, and it just flashed outside the post. The shot flying past Lukic. The ball was helped on twice to Cascarino, the second time by Sheringham. A tight-knit community south of the river here. They've had their notoriety with a certain section of their supporters. They've worked really hard to improve their image, and they've done that off the field and on. Carter, Cascarino! A wonderful save by Lukic, and O'Callaghan following up. Just thought the ball might run away from the goalkeeper. Cascarino's header, and there have been so many from him, not all of them at goal, of course, in the first half. One-handed, Lukic kept it out. Nelson, blocked by Herlock, who gets through so much tigerish work in midfield. Sheringham on a run. Adams in difficulties. Sheringham. He only had to play it across, and Cascarino would have had a tap in. Sheringham there, unaware that time of the position of his partner. There's a real tussle between Sheringham and Adams. The referee allowed it to go on, and I don't think Sheringham, in the fighting for the ball there, really could be blamed too much for not spotting Cascarino. Smith. And Marwood! A wonderful strike, and the goal was certainly on the cards the way Arsenal have fought back in the second half, and it's no surprise either that it came from the long ball. 20 minutes left. Alan Smith with a delightful touch, and Marwood getting inside McCleary, finishing it all off in style. A goal that Arsenal really deserve, coming just after Sheringham might have put Millwall 2 up. Marwood's 11th goal of the season. Well, the cry from beneath the commentary position, wake up Millwall, and it's got some justification. The Millwall fans disappointed with the way their team have performed in the second half, but you have to say that Arsenal have shown championship class in the resolution they put into their second half performance after being outrun for the opening half hour. Oh, he's lost it. Alan Smith against the post, bowled. Adams is there. They're claiming a goal. And Adams will be disappointed because the linesman has kept his flag down. And I think Tony Adams was probably in the best position to see then. And that's genuine disappointment. Will we get any more clues from here? It's not a goal. Horn dropped the cross against the post, in came bowled, and Adams was fighting for it. It was certainly over the line, and unless it was a foul, the goal should have been given. Will this be the story of the goal that wasn't? Marwood. Arsenal unabashed. Marwood. Oh, Merson and Smith. Justice is done. 9 minutes left. And Alan Smith, only a minute after Arsenal felt they had a perfectly good goal disallowed. Smith scores. It is 2-1. And absolutely no doubts about this one, although there was a touch of luck as the ball fell off Merson and just rolled for Smith, who found the bottom corner. And Arsenal's second half pressure has really paid off. It's been a great recovery.
The pace of a very hard season might just be starting to tell now. Millwall have slipped down. They're in 7th place with 36 points. Coming up though, 3 more games in 8 days. They've got to play Arsenal again at Highbury. There's a home match against Coventry City. First though, it's Middlesbrough at the Den and a chance to avenge that 4-2 defeat earlier in the season.
Cascarino and a lot of Millwall players lining up in the penalty area. One of them is Briley, and he scores to give Millwall the lead, 1-0. Callaghan's free kick curled in dangerously off the head of Mowbray. It's an own goal, and that surely means victory for Millwall now.
Now Coventry at home, another example of Cascarino's class and composure on a difficult surface. Loads of confidence around. There's a severe test coming up.
At Highbury, Arsenal against Millwall. Arsenal still struggling to show off their best in front of their home crowd. Indeed, it looked as though they'd gone a goal down here. Les Briley beating John Lukic, but Briley's joy turning to frustration. The linesman was flagging, the goal ruled out. And really, it was a let-off for Arsenal. Millwall much the better side on the night, confirming that their high league placing is no fluke. Arsenal lucky to escape with a point.
Amazingly, the Lions have found fresh energy. 2 wins and that draw at Arsenal. And now it's Luton away and another 3 points.
Millwall already have 2 victories against Luton in the League and FA Cup this season. And looking good here for an opening goal by Carter. Jimmy Carter scores again. Luton pressing forward, looking for offside. But Cascarino's onside. And a difficult looking ball, and Carter's there again. His 6th goal in 10 games. 2-0 to Millwall. Searching ball, and as Herlock went in with Priest, the referee saw the push and has given the penalty. Joe Worrell insistent that was a foul by Herlock. So Danny Wilson with a chance to give Luton a lifeline, and it's 2-1 to Millwall now.
That's the result. Millwall back in 3rd place, the position they've occupied for most of the season. And now the Den gets a flavour of European football with the arrival of the Swiss club Servette to play a friendly. The great Karl-Heinz Rummenigge's in their team, and the Swiss visitors win 3-1. Now we get back to league business and the visit of Aston Villa. Remember, these sides met on the opening day of this season.
Sheringham McCleary, there's Briley, back to Sheringham again. Cascarino looking to get it on the turn. Sheringham wanting it, and it might come to O'Callaghan! Millwall ahead! An unlucky ricochet for Aston Villa, it must be said, but snatched on gleefully there by the Millwall number 11. And Millwall go ahead with a little more than 2 minutes of the game gone. Cascarino, difficult to shake off the ball, looking around, finds Sheringham, there's a deflection there, and it falls suddenly for Kevin O'Callaghan, and the ball finishes in the back of the Villa net. Great start for Millwall. McCleary on the far side. Sheringham, little touch there for Carter, well kept in, good play there by Jimmy Carter. There's his cross. Sheringham there with a header. Good Millwall move there. And again, a lot of work down to Jimmy Carter before Sheringham here got his header in. Just kept it in play there. They've got their act together well after appearing live on the nation's television screens on 2 successive weeks. We saw them lose to Norwich here. There's Cascarino. Oh, a nice back heel. It comes for Sheringham. And he's put it wide again. They just won't go in for Teddy Sheringham at the moment. Earlier in the season, you would have put your house on that one. Touchdown again by Cascarino. And into the path of Sheringham, the back heel by Cascarino, and he flicked it wide. Sheringham's touch, belted away by Sims. McInnes is after this one, this could be a problem, they claim handball there. And Villa claiming a handball by David Thompson just inside the box. The referee and linesman look away. And Villa a little upset with that decision. And it looked like a definite handball there. Now what's Carter going to do? It's floated in there. It's knocked away by Ormonroyd. Carter again, trying another cross in. Cascarino's head found that one. Herlock! A terrific goal for Millwall. And that probably wraps it up for them. Terry Herlock, the scorer. Only his third this season. A long cross coming in by Carter. Good jump by Cascarino again. And there's that dynamo of a midfield man, left-footed beyond the despairing arm of Butler. And Millwall are 2 up.
And now we're approaching Easter. It's Everton and Sheffield Wednesday away, Wimbledon at home. First, a trip to Merseyside.
Away at Everton, it was another test of Millwall's credibility in the championship chase. And John Docherty's team certainly weren't overawed by their visit to Goodison Park. This was their opening attack, with Terry Herlock spreading the ball wide to Jimmy Carter. Carter played to Tony Cascarino's aerial strength with an early cross. Cascarino wins it, and his attacking partner Teddy Sheringham has the ball in the Everton net after just 85 seconds. But it was a long time to defend the lead, and midway through the second half, Everton pressure told. Young defender David Thompson got too close to the experienced Graham Sharp, Sharp falling at the feel of contact, a penalty. Now Sharp had wasted a spot kick in the cup, so the job passed back to Kevin Sheedy, who didn't let Everton down. Everton won, Millwall won.
Next, Wimbledon at home. John Fashanu, so dangerous. Gets away from Thompson, and Thompson brings him down. Another penalty conceded. John Fashanu has his own method of taking these, unusual, but pretty effective. A sad day all round, in particular for Teddy Sheringham, sent off for the first time in his career. Let's go north to Hillsborough now.
Bennett running at the Millwall defence here, and that's a good ball. Millwall's defenders are claiming offside, but Whitten is allowed to run on, and Palmer gives Sheffield Wednesday the lead, his first goal for his new club. Millwall stretched again here. Whitten. And Whitten looking strong and goes on, and he opens his account as well. And Ron Atkinson's new boys have done the trick. 2-0. Sheffield Wednesday really looking rampant here. Hurst is away. Horn backpedaling. Whitten is up in support, and he makes it 3-0. And Millwall are finished.
It's looking like a tough run into the season now, just 1 point from a possible 9. The brave title chase seems to be faltering. 2 great fixtures coming up though. Both Manchester United and Liverpool must play league football at the Den in the space of 3 days. First, it's United's turn.
Only Cascarino through the centre, but Dean Horrocks arriving in support. Herlock. Well, it bounced awkwardly for Jim Leighton. Well, it's a sort of service that Cascarino loves, and he might get a second bite here, and even a third one. Manchester United in difficulties, and that's Danny Salmon, pretty close. McGrath. Manchester United trying to open up the game now, and Beardsmore. A clear sight of the Millwall goal for the young midfield man. It's one of those matches where one goal looks as though it would settle it. Stevens, very close to providing it.
Staunton's clearance, not a good one. Wood going forward. That's a good ball to O'Callaghan. Barnes across to cover. And a good layoff. Herlock, all a bit scrappy inside the Liverpool penalty area, and it breaks for Salman, and he's given Millwall the lead. Liverpool protest, but the goal stands. Houghton. Beardsley. Oh, beautiful skill by Peter Beardsley, and a good save. Corner to Liverpool. As ever, Liverpool take it quickly in by Venison. Aldridge going up. Barnes is in there, and Barnes has equalised. A rare-headed goal for John Barnes. Oh, poor ball there by Cascarino, and Barnes quick to capitalise on the mistake. Possibilities here for Liverpool. Houghton's header, and behind for a corner. Ball was aimed at Barnes but never reached him, but Venison giving Houghton another opportunity to test the Millwall defence, and it comes to Barnes. Well saved, but Aldridge is there, and Liverpool take the lead. A vital goal in their hunt for the championship.
And that makes 5 matches without a win now. Will 2 London derbies inspire the Lions to reverse that losing trend?
Cascarino! He did well to get there. Julian Dixon! A terrible mistake by Horn, but perhaps he never saw the shot which came through the crowd. Paris. This is Slater. 2-0, unmarked at the near post, Alan Dickens. In from Salmon this time, and Cascarino climbing beautifully again. O'Callaghan. Cascarino very nearly given a chance off the goalkeeper. West Ham really on course for a double over Millwall. Slater, and how badly they need a win here. Still Slater, and the third goal from George Paris, almost wrapping it up before half-time.
And that's a good ball, setting Waddle free on the right. Walsh, Tottenham are in front. Paul Walsh gets the goal, courtesy of Chris Waddle's cross. Allen. Walsh let it run, a lovely little return from Stewart. Allen in there again, and pull back for Stewart. It's 2-0 to Spurs. Paul Stewart. Millwall under real pressure here. Walsh setting Stewart away again, and Stewart gets his second, and Tottenham get their third. Millwall claiming offside, but Stewart is onside. Gascoigne wanted it played to him, but he picks out Naeem. Here's Samways, and it's gone in. Samways makes it Spurs 4, Millwall 0. Millwall really on the rack here. Howells through to Stewart. Stewart still. It's his hat-trick. 5-0 in the last minute.
That's the worst result in the First Division. It means Millwall are 8th. Mind you, they haven't been any lower than that all season. Last 3 matches now. They'll finish up at home to Southampton. There's a trip to already relegated Newcastle. First we go to the City Ground to play Forest.
Pierce for Nottingham Forest. Good play by Clough, lovely control that was. And he finds Webb. Carr free on the right, but Gaynor runs into the space, and it's Tommy Gaynor who gives Nottingham Forest the lead. A splendid goal. Millwall trying their best to get back on level terms here. Good play by Carter. A dangerous looking cross. Cascarino goes in there, Laws, and it's an own goal. What an embarrassing moment for Brian Laws. A dreadful mistake. Millwall are back in it. Carr for Nottingham Forest. Webb. Good ball, and Gaynor's onside. Good save, but it comes to Hodge, and what an acrobatic goal by Steve Hodge. 2-1 to Forest then. Fine control by Webb. This is Hodge. Now Carr. Laws again. And Gaynor, and plenty in the middle for him to pick out. Oh dear! Steve Wood was the man who made contact. That's an own goal, and that's 3-1 to Forest. Clough. Forest looking so fluent here. A lovely angle ball, and Hodge is onside. Parker! Gary Parker makes it Nottingham Forest 4, Millwall 1.
Antrobus. Sheringham! A goal out of absolutely nothing. Cascarino dropping back to help the defending. And Newcastle making life difficult for Millwall here. Hurlock. Anderson! Well, if that's a parting shot to the First Division, it's a pretty effective one.
Cockrell wins the header, turned on by Case. Right out's little header, Letitia. Oh, a neat little back heel. And here's Wallace, set up for right out. Cockrell now. Oh, what a splendid goal by Glenn Cockrell. A typical spectacular effort. Cascarino battling well. And he gets help from Carter. It's a fine looking cross as well. Sheringham is there! The equaliser for Teddy Sheringham. 1-1.
Millwall finished 10th. That's an excellent achievement in their debut season in Division 1. A total of 99 goals, and you've just seen them all. 14 victories in the 38 matches, 11 draws, 13 defeats. 47 scored and 52 conceded. 53 points in all. Let's take a check at the goal scorers. Well, the deadly front duo up there with 15 apiece. Tony Cascarino, recognised by the Republic of Ireland, 13 in the league, 2 in the cup. And Teddy Sheringham, 11 in the league, 4 cup goals for him. Jimmy Carter chipping in with a valuable contribution, half a dozen for Carter, and O'Callaghan, whose experience has been so important, he gets 5. The goal of the season came at Charlton in early September. The scorer, the inspiring skipper Les Briley.